Hey everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to talk about my most anticipated releases for November. So it is already almost November, you guys. I feel like we have just lost so much time this year. Like, it is just a mind blow. Like, somebody told me the other day how many days or weeks or whatever until Christmas, and I was like, okay, now I'm stressed out because it's like the holidays are not even on my radar yet. So whatever. But here we are. There is a lot of good stuff coming out in November. And so this is definitely not an extensive list of like everything because we'd be here for hours. So I'm just going to talk about my like top picks for the things coming out in November. And hopefully you'll find something that you're interested in too. So on November 1st, there is The Prisoner by B.A. Paris. So B.A. Paris is one of my favorite thriller authors so far, at least. She hasn't really done me dirty yet. So B.A. Paris, love her. This is about a woman who is married to a super wealthy guy. And she wakes up one day and she is like a prisoner somewhere. And she doesn't know what's going on. And she, for some reason, feels a little bit safer as this captive than she does with her husband. So what's going on? Don't know. Sounds great. And I hope it doesn't disappoint. Next is The Banned Bookshop of Maggie Banks by Shuana Robinson. So this one is about a girl named Maggie Banks who goes to run her friend's bookstore for some reason. And this bookstore is like stuck in the past. They don't want any new stuff. They want to talk about all the old stuff. And so she starts a secret book club that is like reading the new stuff and the contemporary stuff. And she's trying to like liven things up and get them contemporary. But there's a lot of pushback, so it's all banned, and it just sounds really, really fun and really interesting. It could have a really interesting conversation, I would think. The next one is a very merry bromance by Lyssa K. Adams. So this is number 5 in the Bromance Book Club series, and that first one, the Bromance Book Club, is one of my favorite books. Like, it is one of my favorite romance books. I've read most of the others. I think I've read 2 and 3. I have not read 4 yet. And I like them. I don't love them in the same way. But this one is about a country music star and an immigration lawyer. She's kind of a Scrooge. They end up having to work together over the holidays. And I am hoping it's at least cute and charming. My expectations are a little bit lower. And I feel like that will serve me well. So there's that one. Then also on November 1st is The Rewind by Allison Winn Scotch. So I feel like Allison Winn Scotch is one of the most like underrated women's fiction authors, and because I never feel like I hear anybody talking about her, and yet she's one of my favorites. And so this one is about 2 people who wake up in New Year's Day, I think, after 1999. So it's New Year's Eve 1999. They are 2 exes that have been broken up for 10 years, and then New Year's morning they wake up with rings on their fingers, and what happened? And so sounds really interesting. I think one was like even about to become engaged to somebody else. So this, I feel like, could go really wrong, or it could be really sweet. I love first love, second chance. So that might be what this is. I don't know. Like I said, Allison Winn Scotch does typically, I typically like her writing. So then we go to November 8th. So we have The Last Party by Clare Mackintosh. So this is again about a New Year's Eve party. And it says, it's the start of a new series, D.C. Morgan. So I don't know, like, if we're following the detective's perspective a lot, I don't know that I'll love it, just because that's not something I love. But it says, at midnight, one of them is dead. By morning, all of them are suspects. So this guy throws a New Year's Eve party, and he is killed. Who did it? Don't know. Then November 15th is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. So I am not a Kennedy Ryan fangirl like a lot of people are. I know there's so many people who will probably unsubscribe for me saying that. I haven't read a ton of her stuff, but everything that I have read has been just okay. So maybe I'm not reading the right stuff. I don't know. But she has a new one that is about a couple that gets divorced because life is just throwing them whammy after whammy. And you guys, that takes such a toll on a marriage. And so they get divorced, but they're still like running a business together. They're still co-parenting. They're still very involved in each other's lives. And they're not sure if they made a mistake when they got divorced or if it was the right thing. So I think it's like marriage in trouble is a trope that I don't feel like we see enough of. And so I'm excited. I mean, even though they got divorced, I'm excited to see, is it worth fighting for or not? I'm excited to know. And then also on November 15th is Have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham. So Lauren Graham is Lorelai Gilmore from Gilmore Girls. And I love her. I mean, she has done tons of other roles, but that is what I know her best from. And she has at least one other memoir. And this is a second memoir. And the first one I read via audio and she reads it herself. And it was just so entertaining. Like I feel like she is not that far from Lorelai as like personality wise, what you can see through her books. And it's just so great. Love it. Can't wait to read it. I hope to read it on audio. Then we've got November 22nd, Pride and Puppies by Lizzie Shane. So Lizzie Shane writes all of these like sweet contemporary romances that deal with dogs. And this one is no different. So this is about a woman who's a huge Jane Austen fan. And she has just had a bad run at love. She just can't find her Mr. Darcy. And so she decides to swear off love and just get a dog instead, which I like totally understand that sentiment. When I was in my 20s and dating, sometimes it's like, maybe pets are just better. But so she gets a dog, and then she starts kind of having feelings for her neighbor, but he is about to maybe make a cross-country move. So sounds sweet, sounds fun. Then we've got The Man I Never Met by Elle Cook. And this is a couple who meets because he mistakenly dials her number. And then he's calling to say he's late for a job interview or something like that. And then he calls back and he's like, hey, I got the job. I'm moving to London. And they like strike up a friendship, and even though they've never met. And so I'm excited to see how that plays out and what it looks like. So then we have November 29th, The Personal Assistant by Kimberly Belle. So Kimberly Belle is a thriller author that has been really hit and miss for me. I like some of her stuff, don't like some of her stuff. So this one, we'll see. But this is about a personal assistant who goes missing. She's this woman's personal assistant. She goes missing, and she has all this woman's secrets and everything. And so the woman's kind of freaking out. And I think you get perspectives of the woman, the assistant, and the woman's husband. And so I think that'll be really interesting. And like multiple perspective books, I love them. And I feel like it can definitely help in a thriller to like keep the pace really high and fast. And so I think it'll be good. So those are my most anticipated books for November. I am so excited for all of these. I have requested all of these on NetGalley or through my library. So we'll see if I actually get to them. But they all sound great. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're interested in any of these books, or if you have any others that are coming out in November that you think I cannot miss. And that's it. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.